can clear that out. We have done all of our dungeons for this patch. We might unlock some more later, but... Who am I looking for? Lebrasaw is somewhere in this bloody circle. Where? I don't know. Oh, he's right there. Hi. Let me guess. You caught wind of the rumors and thought you'd come and investigate, yes? I'll have you know that Archambaudin is innocent. He has nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with any of this. This nonsense. Known him since childhood. While he might occasionally seem somewhat high-handed, mayhap even callous, he would never do anything to harm anyone. That is not enough. There is also the fact that in the days and weeks prior to Ulaw's disappearance, he was not out of his company for more than a few moments. There's an implication there. He could not possibly have committed the crime of which he is accused without my knowledge. Whoever orchestrated all of this clearly planned for the blame to fall squarely on his shoulders, that much is certain. Yet numerous as the enemies of House Email are, I struggle to think who would resort to something so underhanded. Unless it was the girl herself. Don't you see? What better way to besmirch the good name of one of Ishgard's foremost houses and win over your peers than to vanish, and later spread rumors that he was somehow responsible, and then to go and plant... That is to say... Oh, by the Fury, I pray I'm not making a mistake. But first, I would have you swear to tell none but the Inspector what I am about to reveal. I stumbled across this Volume 11 of the Articles of Hellenic Polity. It had been conspicuously placed in Archambaudin's dormitory room, with the law's favorite bookmark tucked between its pages. I can hardly tell you what would happen if people were to learn of this. It is but a mercy that I chanced upon it and not one of more credulous. However, now that we have deduced who the perpetrator is, it should be simple enough to restore Archambaudin's reputation. All we need to do is prove she and her revolutionary friends are responsible. Were I a braver and more foolish man, I would march down to the broom and demand answers. You, a hero blessed with the strength of 100, need not fear for your well-being there as I do. You're my only hope. Okay, I'm not Obi-Wan though. Also, if I'm your only hope, you're in trouble because I don't believe you for a second, buddy. Please, I beg of you, take the book and use it to find the girl and prove these rumors false. Okay, but I don't trust him for a second. Cathedral... Oh, Archon, you have returned. Please tell me your inquiries have been more fruitful than mine own. Got a book. It's got a bookmark in it. It apparently is everything. This missing volume. Where did you find it? So Lebrasaw believes that Ulab, or one of her revolutionary friends, planted it in Archambaudin's room as part of an elaborate scheme to defame House Samael. Continue to be amazed by what ridiculous conspiracies these children can convince themselves are true. As if the future of his guardian society shall be shaped by the actions of some few ambitious seminarians. Anyway, I will allow that she may have been consorting with others who supported Reformation. And were she persuaded to engage in rebellious acts, the dormitory prefect would have been an ideal target. Alternatively, Archibald was so arrogant and careless that he thought nothing of leaving incriminating evidence in plain sight. I think the latter one. He would hardly be the first. Needless to say, speculation will avail us naught at this juncture. First, I must see what I can learn from this book. In the meantime, I would have you go and speak with the people of the Broom. See what they know, if anything, about Ullah. Where she might have gone, whom she might have visited, and so forth. Failing that, keep your ears open for news of unusual happenings. One can never be too well informed. The Broom! Where we will try to sweep up some new evidence. I will not apologize. You're not about to ask me to do you a favor, are you? You'll forgive me for being suspicious, but just the other day a man draped from head to toe in fine silks approached me, all nervous and twitching. Tossed a purse at my feet saying the gill in it was mine for the taking. All I had to do was head to the grocer and buy him a couple vials of cough syrup. Tempting as it was, I wasn't about to risk getting involved in someone's shady schemes, so I told him to piss off. And that was that. Oh, hi, Ben. B, I've got nothing to say to the likes of you. Eh? What's that? You think I might have helped kidnap some highborn girl? God's sakes. You and Themis make a fine pair, you do. Acting all high and mighty, pretending you care. But the only time you come around is when you're looking for someone to blame. Sorry to disappoint you, but I've got nothing to do with this Ullah's disappearance. If you ask me, you have better luck harassing those blue bloods in the pillars. After all, I know better than anyone how to deal with inconveniences, eh? I can't disagree with you. Okay, who's the last person I have to talk to now? Ah, good old Gibralon. I distinctly recall telling you once that my patrons appreciate their privacy. Still, I know you wouldn't ask if it weren't important, so this time I'll oblige your curiosity. This hasn't got anything to do with your missing girl of mine, but a few days back, this one fellow comes and pays his tab in full. Surprising development, as had long since written it off as a loss. Came into money, he says, has a mind to settle his debts. Pleased as I am by his changing fortunes, all the while I'm wondering who he left bleeding in an alley to get that much gil at once. Briardio. Excellent timing, Archon. I have findings to share. Although Zara's bookmark suggests that Volume 11 was within our possession at some point, it does not tell us when that point might have been. With this in mind, I decided to pay a visit to the seminary library. Sure enough, her signature was in the logs, indicating that she was the last person to have borrowed the tome. Compared the handwriting to samples from her old assignments to be sure, and found no irregularities. One might argue that this supports Leversore's theory, but it is far from conclusive evidence. I suppose you cannot use those vaunted powers of yours to grant us a vision of the past and spare us further hardship. Nope. I thought not. Then we shall rely on the more traditional methods. So what came of your inquiries in the broom? Do tell. Nothing. But that is to be expected, is it not? Again, I'm reminded how ridiculous the two scenarios presented to us purporting grand conspiracies truly are. It's not more likely that both the girl and our Chombadin... Is it not more likely that both the girl and our Chombadin are innocent of wrongdoing? We must continue searching for more clues. Even the most insignificant tidbit may be all it takes for the pieces of this puzzle to fall into place. A familial resemblance. Seeing how reluctant some of the citizens were to answer your questions, I believe it best for me to take over investigations on the broom. As for you... Ah, yes, I am given to understand that Blessy and her friends have been conducting their own investigation. Though I am loath to admit it, given the fact that they are seminarians, I should not be surprised if they have noticed something we overlooked. You may as well go and see what Blessy has learned. If we cannot find her at the Scholasticate, imagine someone can point you in the right direction. In. Yeah. Pray keep your voice down when inside. Loud. That is a question I, too, would like to know the answer to. It feels as though we haven't spoken in ages. I did, however, hear some of the other seminarians say they saw the ascent of the Ark of the Venerable. If so, Lizzie is certain to be close by. Oh, well, with them both working to bring Ula back, the Emerson and Lizzie have had good reason to spend a great deal of time together. This past few days, they've been running around the city making inquiries. I'd be surprised if that's what they're up to today. Hasn't she been following Theomasanta around like a lost puppy this past fortnight? Find him, and you'll probably find her. That's what I say. I don't know how she puts up with it, frankly. Suppose that, unlike some of the seniors, he's simply too kind for his own good. Lizzie? I haven't seen her all day. In fact, she's gone out again with her friends to look for Ula. Still don't understand why they bother. There's probably off gallivanting about with heretics and revolutionaries. Even if they find her, I doubt she'll want to return. Why am I asking him? Of course I don't know where she is. While I may be in charge of the dormitory, it is not my responsibility to hold the seminarian's hand or wipe their arses. As you should well know in light of recent events, our Chombadin has not the luxury to concern himself with such trivialities. Yeah, why did I bother asking him any questions? Where are you? Follow-up question. Why did I decide to try and run out here? Teleported. That unlocks Dark Knight. Found her. I don't see Theomasant. Oh wait, he's over there. Hanging out with Crammy. You startled me. I'm here for Ula's sake, lest you wonder. This is all part of my investigation, I swear. You like Theomasant, don't you? Wait, you're not a seminarian, and yet you seem so familiar. Ah, I know. You're my brother's associate. By brother, you mean... Briardian? My apologies, Master Rockham. I suppose we have yet to properly be introduced. I'm Blazy, Briardian's younger sister. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. So he's sent you to see what I've learned? And I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. I spent all day questioning merchants, watchmen, and random passers-by, and they told me absolutely nothing of interest. They recorded their statements for good measure, but quite honestly, it was a waste of ink and paper. Lazy, what are you doing here? That's not the right voice at all. Yo, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, you've been staring at him for the past, like, hour? Actually, I don't know how long, but a while. I was just taking a moment to review these testimonies I had taken and thought to, but of course, you then thought to come and share your findings with us. Yes, that's it. While it might be a bit much, I wanted to make sure I did not omit a single word. By the fury, Blazy. This is over 100 films long. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of effort it took to organize all this information. It's incredibly heartening to know that there are others as dedicated as us to seeing Ula returned. Now, let's have a look, shall we? And then Theomacent walked this way, and then Theomacent walked that way. And then he sneezed, and it was so cute. Investigation log, entry 1. Master of his guardian markets, Mistress Allays problems. Oh, with this recent run of bad weather, we've had plenty. Why, just the other day my back started to give me trouble again. I've had to hobble from place to place. Investigation log, entry 2. House for Time Steward, Honori. I cannot guarantee that this news will be of great interest to you and yours, but a 12-point proposal for the reformation of the Inquisition has recently been tabled by Lord Arterel in the House of Lords. She wrote 100 pages of useless crap down. Investigation log, entry 10, Weaponsmith, Elbert. Ever since the Blue Bastard and his lapdog put an end to the war, profits have plummeted. I've had to sell my best stock for a fraction of its worth just to make ends meet. Oh no, you poor thing. Also, how dare you dislike Emmerich? He's a boss? Investigation log, entry 21, Carvery, Mestanon. Barely enough time to fill my customers' orders. Much less keep an eye out for foolish... God damn it, Theo, that's enough. None of that rubbish is even remotely relevant. Oh no. Don't you think you're being a touch too hasty? We've not gotten even a third of the way through. We may yet learn something of value. Let's not dismiss Blazy's hard work out of hand. Thank you, Theo, for your kind words. Why do you think I may be of use? Fine. Let us briefly entertain this thought and say that something in these notes will help us find Ula. How exactly do you propose we determine what that is? You needn't do a thing. For though we may lack the skill to discern the relevant from the mundane, a certain inspector we know and love is a dab hand at such things, no? Of course, Inspector Briardian. Brilliant idea, Crammy. Archon, if you would, take the scroll to him and see what he can make of it. Doubt Not even he could make heads or tails of this rubbish. In any event, it's out of our hands. We should continue with our search. Anytime this music starts popping up, you know something weird's about to happen. There. Oh, that step was quick. Familiar resemblance? Okay. Again. Doubtless you have much to share. I know I do. Do you recall Girbelon's patron who recently paid off his debts and the gentleman attempting to obtain cough syrups? Upon further investigation, it turns out they share one astonishingly similar facial feature. A pale, raised scar running from the top of their left cheekbone to their jaw. It so happens that this description also matches that of a notorious thug who is known to hang around outside taverns and harass patrons for coin, until an unexpected windfall saw his fortunes vastly improve. He's now rumored to make a living as a traveling merchant. Know where he goes and what he sells, none can say. We shall find out in due time. But enough of my discoveries. What have you learned? By the fury, this is longer than some scripture. She compiled it all in less than a single day, you say? Remarkable. Investigation log entry 1, Master of Ishgardian Markets, Mr. Soleil's problems? Back problems. On the other hand, the Crozier has been seen increasing trade in oils, furs, and other goods. Folks begin to crave when it grows cold. So in that regard, I can't complain. Purveyor of Investigation log entry 13, Purveyor of Sundries, Poste Valet. The other day, there was this one fellow who wanted to purchase robes for a young woman. A merchant, he said. I've never known one who couldn't be bothered to haggle. Not that I minded, of course. Investigation log entry 21, Corvée Mastagno. Barely enough time to fill my customers' orders, much less keep an eye out for foolish girls getting themselves into trouble. Now, if you would excuse me, I really must be getting back to it. I'm expecting several regular customers every minute. Investigation log entry 47, Apothecary, PN. Mastagno has bought my whole stack of cough syrup every day for the past week. Passing strange, needless to say, so I followed him and found that he was reselling my products for another. The nerve of some people, I tell you. Okay, so Mastagno is our issue? Or at least we need to talk to him? Gentleman procuring cough medicines through a third party. That story has a familiar ring to it, does it not? Man with a questionable past, recently come into wealth, and playing at being a merchant, who happens to travel with a young girl prone to fits of coughing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Archon? I don't like the cut of Messina's jib. Alright. 'Tis a pity our merchant friend had not the wits to match his newfound wealth. Could have done with a greater challenge. That is neither here nor there. Come, Archon, let us pay a visit to Mastagno's stall. Yep, let's get right on that.